I saw the photos on Facebook at 11:30 on a Thursday night. My daughter's baby shower. Pastel pink balloons, a 3-tier cake covered in fondant roses, my daughter laughing in a silk maternity dress I'd never seen before. And there, in the background of every photo, was Marcus's mother cutting the cake, holding my daughter's hand, arranging gifts on a table decorated with fresh peonies. I wasn't there. I didn't even know it was happening. The next morning I called my lawyer and canceled the trust fund. All $150,000 of it. Let me back up. My name is Linda. I'm 63 years old now, and I've been a widow for 24 years. My husband Tom died when our daughter Rachel was 8 years old. Heart attack. He was only 39. One minute he was coaching her soccer team, the next minute he was gone. I remember standing in the hospital, holding Rachel's hand, and thinking that I had two choices. I could fall apart, or I could make sure my daughter had the life Tom and I had planned for her. I chose the second option. I was a nurse, night shifts mostly, because they paid better. After Tom died, I picked up weekend shifts at a clinic across town. Then I started doing private nursing on my days off. For 20 years, I worked 70, sometimes 80 hours a week. I missed school plays because I was at work. I missed parent-teacher conferences because I was covering someone else's shift for the overtime. I wore scrubs that were 5 years old and drove a car with 200,000 miles on it because every extra dollar went into two places: Rachel's college fund and later the trust fund I set up for her future children. I wanted her to have what I didn't: security, options, the ability to give her own children the childhood she deserved but didn't quite get because I was always working. Rachel went to a good college, state school, but good. She studied marketing and graduated with honors. I was so proud. I took the day off work, drove 6 hours to attend her graduation, and cried through the entire ceremony. She hugged me afterward and said, "Mom, I couldn't have done this without you." I believed her. After college, Rachel moved to the city and got a job at a marketing firm. She was good at it. Within 3 years, she was managing accounts, making decent money, living in a nice apartment. We talked on the phone every Sunday. She'd tell me about her week, her clients, the restaurants she was trying. I'd tell her about my patients, though I'd leave out the hard parts. The man with dementia who didn't recognize his own wife. The woman dying of cancer whose kids never visited. Rachel didn't need to hear those things. Then she met Marcus. She called me on a Tuesday evening, all excited. "Mom, I met someone. His name is Marcus. He works in finance." I could hear the smile in her voice. I was happy for her. She deserved someone good, someone who would treat her well. The first time I met Marcus was at a restaurant. Rachel's Choice. It was one of those places with small portions and big prices, cloth napkins and waiters who described every dish like it was a work of art. I wore the nicest dress I owned, the one I'd bought for Rachel's college graduation. It was navy blue, simple, appropriate. Marcus showed up in a suit that probably cost more than my car payment. He shook my hand with the kind of grip that felt rehearsed. Firm, but not too firm. Professional. His smile didn't reach his eyes. We made small talk. He told me about his job, something to do with investment portfolios and hedge funds. I didn't understand most of it, but I nodded and smiled. Rachel watched him the whole time, and I watched her. She looked happy. That's all I wanted. Halfway through dinner, Marcus's phone rang. He glanced at it and said, "Excuse me, I need to take this." Then he stood up and walked outside without waiting for a response. Rachel leaned across the table. "Isn't he amazing, Mom?" I said yes, because that's what you say. When Marcus came back, he didn't apologize. He sat down, picked up his fork, and continued eating like nothing had happened. The conversation shifted. He asked me about my work, and I told him I was a nurse. He nodded, then turned to Rachel and started talking about a vacation he wanted to take her on. "The Maldives," he said. "Overwater bungalows." I sat there, smiling, feeling like I was watching them through glass. After dinner, Rachel hugged me in the parking lot. "What do you think, Mom?" I wanted to tell her that something felt off. That Marcus seemed polite but distant. That the way he looked at his phone more than he looked at me bothered me. But she was glowing, and I didn't want to dim that light. "He seems very successful," I said. "He is." She squeezed my hand. "I'm really happy, Mom. That's all that mattered." Or so I thought. They got engaged 6 months later. I found out from a Facebook post. A photo of Rachel's hand with a diamond ring so big it looked heavy. The caption read, "He asked. I said yes. Best day of my life." She called me 2 hours after she posted it. "Mom, I'm engaged." I tried to sound surprised. "That's wonderful, honey. I wanted to tell you in person, but Marcus surprised me, and I just had to share it." I understood. Or I told myself I did. The wedding was planned for the following spring. Big wedding. 200 guests. Rachel asked me to help with the planning, but every time I suggested something, Marcus's mother had already handled it. The venue? Already booked. The florist? Already chosen. The caterer? Marcus's mother knew someone. I offered to pay for the dress. Rachel said Marcus wanted to buy it for her, a gift. I offered to host the bridal shower. Rachel said Marcus's mother was already planning one. "But Mom, you're invited," she said. "Of course you're invited." The bridal shower was at a country club I'd driven past 100 times but never entered. When I arrived, a valet took my car. I walked into a room filled with orchids and champagne and women in designer dresses. Rachel's friends, Marcus's mother's friends, women who talked about summer homes in the Hamptons and charity galas and wine tastings in Napa. I sat at a table near the back. I smiled. I clapped when Rachel opened gifts. Crystal bowls, silk robes, a set of luggage that cost more than I made in a month. When it was my turn to give her my gift, I handed her a small box. Inside was a necklace, simple gold chain with a small pendant, her birthstone. I'd saved for 3 months to buy it. Rachel opened it, smiled, and said, "Thank you, Mom. It's lovely." Then she set it aside and moved on to the next gift, a weekend spa package from Marcus's mother. I told myself it was fine. The wedding was beautiful. Rachel looked stunning. I sat in the second row, behind Marcus's parents, and cried during the vows. Happy tears. At least, that's what I told myself. After the wedding, things changed. Rachel and Marcus moved into a new house. Big house, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a backyard with a pool. Marcus bought it. Rachel called to tell me, excited, "Mom, you have to come see it." I visited the next weekend. The house was beautiful. Granite countertops, hardwood floors, furniture that looked like it belonged in a magazine. Rachel gave me a tour, showing me every room except one, the nursery. "We're not ready to set it up yet," she said. "But one day," I smiled. "I can't wait to be a grandmother." She hugged me. "You're going to be the best grandma." I believed her. Over the next year, I saw Rachel less and less. She was busy. Work, social events, dinners with Marcus's family. I understood. Newlyweds need their space. But our Sunday phone calls became every other Sunday, then once a month. When we did talk, the conversations felt shorter, more surface level. "How's work, Mom?" "Good." "How's the house?" "Great." Silence. Then one day, Rachel called with news. She was pregnant. I cried. I'd been waiting for this moment for so long. A grandchild. Someone I could spoil. Someone I could watch grow up. Someone who would give purpose to all those years of sacrifice. "When are you due?" I asked. "March. Early March." I counted the months in my head. "That's 6 months away." "I know. I'm already showing." "Can I come visit? I want to see you." There was a pause. "Actually, Mom, I've been really tired. The first trimester was rough. Maybe in a few weeks?" "Of course. Whatever you need." A few weeks turned into a month, then 2. I called. I texted. Rachel always had an excuse. Work was busy. She wasn't feeling well. Marcus's parents were visiting. I tried not to take it personally. I started knitting. A baby blanket. Soft yellow yarn. Gender neutral. I worked on it every night after my shifts, imagining the moment I'd give it to Rachel, the moment I'd hold my grandchild for the first time. Then one night, I couldn't sleep. It was late, almost midnight, and I was scrolling through Facebook. Just mindlessly scrolling, the way you do when you're tired but not ready to close your eyes. That's when I saw it. A photo album. Posted by Marcus's mother. Baby shower for our Rachel. Our Rachel. I clicked on the album. 63 photos. Rachel in a pink dress, laughing. Tables covered in pink decorations. A cake with baby girl written in frosting. Marcus's mother standing next to Rachel, holding her hand. Rachel opening gifts, smiling, glowing. I scrolled through every photo, looking for myself, thinking maybe I just missed the invitation. Maybe it got lost in the mail. Maybe Rachel mentioned it and I forgot. But I wasn't there. And I would have remembered. I read the captions. So blessed to celebrate our granddaughter. Family means everything. Surrounded by love. There was one photo where you could see the guest list on a chalkboard in the background. 28 names. I recognized some of them. Marcus's aunts, his cousins, Rachel's friends from college. My name wasn't on the list. I sat there, staring at my phone, feeling something I hadn't felt in a long time. Not sadness, not anger, something deeper, something hollow. I clicked on one more photo. A close-up of Rachel cutting the cake. In the background, you could see a gift table, stacks of presents, and there, on the corner of the table, was the baby blanket I'd been knitting. Yellow yarn. The one I'd been working on for months. She'd taken it. She'd put it on the gift table, but she hadn't invited me. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I called her. It rang 4 times before she picked up. "Hey, Mom. I saw the photos." My voice was calm. Too calm. Silence. "Rachel, I saw the baby shower photos." "Oh." A pause. "Yeah, it was last weekend. Why wasn't I invited?" Another pause. Longer this time. "Mom, it was really last minute. Marcus's mom planned it, and it was mostly her friends and family. It wasn't personal." "It wasn't personal." I repeated the words, trying to make sense of them. "Rachel, I'm your mother." "I know, but Marcus's mom really wanted to host it, and she has this whole group of friends, and it just made sense to keep it small. There were 28 people there. How do you—" She stopped. "Mom, were you counting? You used the baby blanket I made. I saw it in the photos. On the gift table." Silence. "Rachel, I've been knitting that blanket for 3 months. Every night after work. I was going to give it to you in person. At the shower, I thought I'd be invited to." "Mom, I'm sorry. I really am. It just happened so fast, and you had time to mail me the blanket so I could mail it back?" Marcus's mom picked it up when she was in town. I closed my eyes. Marcus's mother had been to my house. She'd picked up the blanket. She'd known about the shower. She'd known I wasn't invited. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. "Because I knew you'd be upset." "I am upset. See? That's why I didn't tell you." I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask her if she remembered all the nights I worked double shifts so she could go to college. If she remembered the times I went without so she could have more. If she remembered telling me I was going to be the best grandma. Instead, I said, "When is the baby due?" "March 10th. Will I be invited to the hospital?" "Mom, don't be like that. I'm asking a question." She sighed. "Of course you will. You're the grandmother." "I am the grandmother. Not Marcus's mother. Me." We hung up a few minutes later. She apologized again. I said it was fine. We both knew it wasn't. I sat at my kitchen table for a long time after that, thinking, remembering. I thought about the trust fund, the one I'd been contributing to for 15 years. Every bonus, every extra shift, every tax refund, $150,000. Money I'd saved so my grandchild could go to college without loans, so Rachel wouldn't have to work 3 jobs the way I did. I'd always imagined the moment I'd tell her about it, maybe when the baby was born, maybe on her first birthday. I'd pictured Rachel's face, the relief, the gratitude, the hug. But now, sitting in my kitchen, looking at Facebook photos of a baby shower I wasn't invited to, I realized something. Rachel didn't need my money. Marcus had money. His family had money. They had country clubs and designer clothes and vacation homes. What Rachel needed was boundaries and consequences. I called my lawyer that afternoon. His name is Bill. He'd helped me set up the trust fund years ago. Good man. Fair prices. "Linda," he said when he answered, "it's been a while. What can I do for you?" "I need to cancel a trust fund." There was a pause. "The one for your granddaughter?" "Yes." "Can I ask why?" I told him. "Not everything. Just enough. The baby shower, the photos, the blanket." When I finished, he was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I'm sorry, Linda. That's tough. Can you do it?" "I can. But are you sure? That's a lot of money to walk away from." "I'm not walking away from it. I'm redirecting it." "To where?" "I'd been thinking about that all morning. I want to donate it to a scholarship fund for single mothers going to nursing school." Bill was quiet again. Then he said, "That's a good thing you're doing. It's the right thing." We set up a meeting for the following week. Bill drew up the paperwork. I signed it. The trust fund was dissolved. The money was transferred. It took less than an hour. I didn't tell Rachel. 3 months later, my granddaughter was born. Emily Rose. 7 pounds, 6 ounces. Rachel sent me a text with a photo, a tiny wrinkled face, eyes closed, pink hat. "She's here," the text said. "We're all doing great." I stared at that text for a long time. We're all doing great. Not we, not Emily and me. All. Marcus, his parents, Rachel, the family. I texted back. "Congratulations. She's beautiful." Rachel invited me to visit the following week. I drove to the hospital with a gift, a stuffed lamb. Soft. Simple. I'd picked it up at Target. When I got to the room, Marcus's parents were already there. His mother was holding Emily. Marcus's father was taking photos. Rachel was in the bed, looking tired but happy. "Mom," she said when she saw me. "Come meet Emily." Marcus's mother handed me the baby, reluctantly, like she was lending me something valuable. I held my granddaughter for the first time and felt numb. I wanted to feel joy, love, connection. But all I could think about was the baby shower, the photos, the blanket. I held Emily for 5 minutes, maybe less. Then Marcus's mother said, "Let me take her. Rachel needs to rest." I handed her back. I stayed for 20 minutes, made small talk, asked about the delivery, complimented the flowers Marcus's parents had sent. Then I left. I visited twice more over the next 2 months. Both times, Marcus's parents were there. Both times, I felt like a guest, a stranger. Rachel and I texted occasionally, short messages. "How's Emily?" "Good. Growing fast. Can I visit?" "Maybe next week." Next week never came. Then, 4 months after Emily was born, Rachel called. "Mom, we need to talk." My stomach dropped. Those words never mean anything good. "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. It's just Marcus and I have been talking, and we're planning for Emily's future. College, you know, it's expensive." I didn't say anything. "And I remember you mentioned a while ago that you'd been saving for Emily." There it was. "I was wondering if you'd be willing to help. We're setting up a college fund, and any contribution would be amazing." I closed my eyes. "Rachel, there is no fund." "What?" "The trust fund I'd been saving for. I dissolved it." Silence. Long silence. "You." "What?" "I canceled it. The money's gone." "Where did it go?" I donated it to a scholarship fund. You donated it. Her voice was flat. You donated my daughter's college fund. It wasn't your daughter's fund. It was my money. But you said. I said I'd been saving. And I did. For 15 years. But then I realized something. Emily doesn't need my money. Marcus has money. His family has money. You have country clubs and baby showers with 28 guests and baby blankets you don't even tell me you're using. That's what this is about? The baby shower? No, Rachel. It's about the fact that I haven't been a part of your life for 2 years. It's about the fact that you didn't invite me to one of the most important events of your pregnancy. It's about the fact that every time I try to visit my granddaughter, Marcus's parents are already there. Mom, that's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. I worked 70-hour weeks for 20 years so you could have a better life. I wore the same scrubs for 5 years so you could go to college. I drove a car with 200,000 miles so you could have what you needed. And when I try to be part of your life, I'm told it's last minute or Marcus's mom is planning it. I didn't mean. I know you didn't. But it happened anyway. She was crying now. I could hear it in her voice. Mom, please. We need that money. No, you don't. Marcus makes 6 figures. His parents gave you a house. You're fine. But Emily will be fine. She has 2 parents who can provide for her, but there are women out there who don't have that. Single mothers working multiple jobs, trying to put themselves through nursing school so they can give their kids a better life. That's where the money went. Silence. I can't believe you did this, she said finally. I can't believe I had to. We hung up. She didn't call back. That was 8 months ago. I haven't seen Emily since she was 2 months old. Rachel blocked me on Facebook. She doesn't respond to my texts. Last I heard, from a mutual friend, Marcus got a promotion. They're doing well. I don't regret what I did. Some people have told me I was too harsh, that I should have talked to Rachel first, that I should have given her a chance to fix things. But here's the thing. I did give her chances. I gave her 20 years of chances. Every time I picked up an extra shift instead of going to her school play. Every time I said yes when she needed something, even when I was exhausted. Every time I put her first. And when it came time for her to put me first, just once, she didn't. The money is gone. It's helping women who need it. Women who remind me of myself 20 years ago. Scared, determined, working 3 jobs, trying to make ends meet. That money will change their lives. It would have sat in an account for Emily, sure. But Emily will be fine. She has everything she needs. Those women don't. I still think about Rachel sometimes. I wonder if she'll ever understand why I did what I did. I wonder if, one day when Emily is older, Rachel will tell her about the grandmother she doesn't know, the one who worked herself to exhaustion so Rachel could have more. I wonder if Emily will ever know that I loved her before she was born, that I knitted her a blanket, that I imagined holding her, reading to her, watching her grow up. But I also know this. You can't force people to value you. You can't make someone include you in their life if they've decided you don't fit into the picture they're trying to create. All you can do is decide what you're worth and stick to it. I'm 63 years old. I spent 20 years putting someone else first. Now, I'm putting myself first. I'm working fewer hours. I'm taking trips I always wanted to take. I'm living for me. And if Rachel ever decides she wants a relationship with me, a real one, not one where I'm an afterthought or a bank account, then we'll talk. But until then, the door is closed. Because love isn't about what you give. It's about being valued for who you are, not what you provide. And I deserve better than being a gift table for a party I wasn't invited to.